Hey there, I'm Isaac from Fieldwork Company. For the next 50 minutes or so, I'm going to be showing you how to make one of our wax canvas Piperolls. So this is our wax canvas Piperoll, and this is my personal product. As you can see, it's really messy. It's been used a lot. I just throw it in my fishing bag. So what it is it's a travel pipe roll for your Piperoll and accessories. It has a tension closure, so it just holds it shut like that. And then inside, it basically holds all of your pipe accessories. So for example, this is my pipe. And then in the middle pocket here, I like to put some tobacco. I'm all out now. And then you have a room for a lighter there, and also in this pocket you can put some other accessories such as a tamp or some pipe cleaners. So yeah, this is the Piperoll in action, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this. We make this Piperoll out of 3 colors. So here you'll see our raw canvas. We get this from the States, and so here we have a dark green, which will lighten up a little bit, and then we have field tan, and this is our most popular color. This is we sell probably 3 times more field tan than the other colors. And then the next color is charcoal. So how this is going to work, I'm going to send you our raw material. So I will send you probably a package in the mail that has some cut out templates, just rolls of our canvas. So I've already gone ahead and I've cut these out. And so basically each strip of canvas will have 4 pipe rolls, okay? So we'll go ahead and take a strip of canvas, and the first step is to trace it and prep it and then cut it. So I'll also be getting you one of our patterns. So these 2 templates. So what we're going to do is take the template, and I might change this, but for this template, I know that it needs to be upside down because I want this big pocket to be on the left side. Anyways, that was confusing. So you'll put that down, and then you'll take a marking tool. You could use anything that has a point on it. You don't want to use a pen or a pencil because you don't want to actually, mark. You don't want to like trace the canvas or put pen or pencil on it. You just want to mark it up. So basically, we'll get the template nice and centered on there. Then I'm just going to trace the outside of it. Oops, that fell away. Trace it, and then we're gonna put in the little dots. You only really need the dots for the pockets there. Okay, and we're gonna do that 4 more times. See, I've gone ahead and I've traced the 4 pipe rolls, and there's a little dots on them. And now I'm just gonna take the pocket template, and there's room to just place it right here. And I'm going to trace 4 of these pockets. 4. There we go. Now, what's next is to actually cut them out. I'm going to take my scissors. All right. Okay. So I've cut out a bunch of templates. I have the charcoal ones here, I have some forest green ones here, and our field tan. So the next step is to trace the dots. Now this is, again, very simple. We're just going to use our marking tool, and we're basically, like in preschool, we're going to connect the dots. So 1, 2, okay. there we go. So these are all the lines that we're gonna need. And yeah, it's ready to start sewing. You don't need to press very hard. Basically, it's just a light scratch will do it, okay?
And if you press too hard, it leaves permanent marks on the canvas.
Yeah, yeah, my wife is right. If you press too hard, it can actually damage the canvas. So you don't want to scrape the canvas, or you could slightly tear the fibers. You don't want to do that. You just want to press light enough that it leaves a mark, because eventually we're going to remove these marks, okay? Actually, because it's wax, what we do is we'll take a hot air gun and we'll actually heat up the canvas, and it will remove all the marks from sewing, from working with it, and it'll make it look brand new. So that's what I'll do before we ship the products out. All right, so I just turned on the machine. I haven't done any tests, so I'm going to make sure that the machine's all rigged up good. We have 2 colors of thread. Basically, our tan or khaki color thread we use for our field tan products and our green products. And then we do have a charcoal thread that we use for our charcoal products. So pretty simple. This machine's already rigged up with field tan. So I'm gonna take our little scrap piece of canvas here and make sure that the stitch is looking good. All right, so I'm gonna analyze it. You know, I want the joint to be about in the middle of the canvas, but that's pretty standard sewing 101. So, yeah, I was using this machine the other day, and it's basically set up. The stitch is good in my opinion, so I think I'm gonna start sewing. So, yeah, basically I like to fold over the kind of the seams or the top parts here. I just like to
Do you want to show her the width of that?
Yeah, so this is about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, if you really need an accurate gauge, then this one is marked and you can use that as a reference. But it doesn't really matter too much. So, yeah. I'm just gonna. Oops. Okay. And I made a mistake, but this is a good teaching moment. So, whenever I am stitching the product, I like to have my stitch length at about 4 or just below 4 millimeters. I find that makes a really nice visually looking stitch. When I sew on the tag, I will drop that stitch down a little bit. So I'll drop it to about 3, okay? So because I'm sewing the product, it should be on about 4. Okay, and one important thing to remember here is that there's the big pocket should always be on the right. Or if it's easier to remember, the small pocket should always be on the left. So yeah, that's important. So I'm gonna start sewing this guy. There we go. That looks good. Now I'm gonna sew on the tag. So when I do the tag, I like to drop the stitch a little bit to about 3-ish. I always like to start on the bottom of the tag, but you can kind of start wherever you want.
You just center the tag in the bottom of the pocket.
Exactly. And I kind of freehand it. Flip off the tag here.
Thread.
It's called a tag. All right, so this is the tag. What do you think? I've, you know, you'll find that some tags look better than others. This one has some bulge to the thread around the edges, but that's fine. If it looks okay, I'm happy with okay. So the next step is to, well, I'm gonna start sewing the product. So right away, I'm gonna up my stitch again to about my 4. I'm gonna put on the pocket here. So what I do is I just fold over the edges about 1/2 inch. The nice thing of the wax canvas is that it'll sort of hold, it'll hold its shape a bit. So I use my fingernail to press it down. And then that's sort of what the inside of the pocket looks like. I'm going to put that in position. And I like the top to be just a little bit, you know, again centered and just below that. So I'm gonna sew that in. And whenever I do a pressure point, I always make sure to backstitch it a good amount. Okay, and now I'm going to show you one of my signature Fieldwork moves. So basically, whenever I do a pocket, I do like to sort of do a nice overstitch. So it, you know, I know this isn't really functional, but it adds a nice visual effect. So I like to overstitch it a bit, and that's just kind of for aesthetics. And it'll hold it in place too really good. All right. Now I'm going to sew these 2 lines for the pocket. One.
Once again, doing the overstitch at the top.
Yep, and bottom. All right.
At the bottom, he leaves a little bit of a gap, and
Yes.
then at the top, he goes about that much over.
Yes, perfect. All right. And now I'm going to sew around the edges. So for that, I don't know how normal this is, but what I do is I call it a relief cut. And I'm gonna cut it about 1/8 of an inch or so. And I'll show you when I'm done cutting it here. There. So I kind of, yeah, do this, I don't know. Well, the reason I do that is because when I start sewing, I'm going to fold it, I'm gonna fold it in on itself like this, and then I'm gonna fold it again. So it kind of removes the excess bulk. And you know, when you're doing this stage, I used to use pins to clip it into place, but I found that I don't really need pins. If you just kind of fold it over as you go, it kind of removes the need of using pins. So you kind of just gotta hold it. And I'm just gonna start here. Then every couple inches, just, you know, fold it over. Yeah, I like to double stitch that pocket corner. Okay. I'm gonna fold this over. And I just crease it with my finger so that it sort of, it'll stay over. There we go. I'm gonna go over here. is all done basically. I'm just going to clip the tags and I'm just going to give it a quick look over. I'm going to check the back. Sometimes the tags on the back are a little bit long. You can just clip them up. So that looks good. That is totally done and that is totally acceptable. So this right here, this is all you need to do. As soon as you sew this and you're happy with the quality, then that is done. You can put that aside, and after you do, well, a bunch of those, I'm not sure however many, then you can send those to me, and when I get them, I'll be putting on the leather hardware, you know, the kind of the tag, and yeah, I'll be putting on these, and this will be my job. Yeah, I'll put this in the middle, put this so you can wrap it around, and that's it. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and of course, if you ever have any questions, I'll make sure you have my number, and you can text me, and we'll learn together. Okay, thank you very much.